Okay, well, I start mine a little bit different because I've been using the I am journal. So it is broken down into morning journal entries and then nighttime entries. So instead of the I ams in the morning, it starts with my burning desire statement, which is what I hope to accomplish over the course of the year. It then goes into the intentions I set for the day to attract it. Then it goes into how those will make me feel as I'm working towards them. And then it goes into my I am statements.
Katrina?
I have a lot of stuff that goes on in the morning. I'm a morning person, both sides thrive. So I wake up and I actually really like to exercise. That's like one of my big things. So today I probably am gonna go like for a walk outside when we're done with this, because I normally exercise while we're doing this. But I do have, it's a morning and a night one, and like it has me put down today's intention, positive affirmations, and then like 10 things that make me happy, which is pretty much the same, kind of similar to the gratitude. I take it the same way. That's how I practice that. But and then I do have a separate journal. It's really short and sweet. And I just see, I don't really even write that much in it. It's just to wind down at night, just to get whatever thoughts I have left so that I can go to bed and fall asleep a little bit easier and more quickly. But yep, I think that Amanda is on now.
Yes. Now Miss Amanda has a very short time with us. So we're going to let her tell us what she does for gratitude. And then we're going to start with the first part of the meat and potatoes of this Zoom, showing up. Go ahead, Amanda.
Hey guys, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes. I have a short time because I have to travel with my daughter in the morning for school. So I have her up, which is why I was late, because the dog wouldn't get out of the room. And I'm like, go. I have an hour commute every morning and every afternoon. So my mornings definitely look a lot different than what they used to look. I didn't have to travel. I lived 5 minutes away from my daughter's school for the last, since she started. And as a lot of you guys might have known, I also just came back from not working at the hospital anymore. So I was working nights and there was just no way I could do these morning live. So anyways, okay. So every single day, you guys, and I have done this probably for the last 8.5 years. Well, I would say probably for the last 8 years. Okay. Every single morning, it has started off the same way. I know some people wake up and they do certain stuff. For me, I'm a very creature of habit. And I'm going to tell you that you've got to figure out what it is for you that's going to get you up and get you motivated and get you going in the right direction every day. Something that you can do on the daily. So you're going to hear lots of things on these Zooms of what people start off with, how they get their day started, how they get going. And I'm going to tell you that you need to take tips from each one of them, little pieces of each thing. And then you need to incorporate it into your life and your, like, what's going to work for you without leaving certain steps out. And the reason why I say it like that is because if I said every day I was going to get up and I was going to fill out a journal, I'm setting myself up to fail. I'm gonna be honest with you. I tried, and every single one of my journals was empty. Okay. It was empty because that sounds like a chore to me. That sounds like something that is not fun. That is not whatever. Right. So how does somebody get motivated and want to work their business and get in the right mindset if that's not something that they do every day? Right. So for me, my motivation is not a journal, but it is a checklist. Okay. And I used to make them at night, but guess what I found out? When I made them at night in the morning, I didn't enjoy getting my day started. Right. So every single day I get started by making a checklist. I get started by saying, okay, what am I going to do today for my business? And I could plan my week out and I have a basic. Now I want to say this, I do have a basic, things that I do, like my daily post, and I'm going to show you an example of one of my checklists. Okay. So I start off and I'll say, okay, well, do I want to have, I'm going to have a post on Facebook. I'm going to have a post on Instagram. I want to have a post on my stories. I want to have, and I rip out my daily checklist daily also. Okay. So here's an example of it. All right. And this might look like complete chaos to some people, complete chaos to people, but there's something important here. I want you to see what I have up in this corner. Affirmations. Okay. My thrive, my vitamins, eat breakfast, move my body, drink my water. All right. So a lot of this stuff you're going to see is familiar, that's in your journals, right? But to me, writing in a journal seemed like a task. However, writing a checklist of those exact same things, my affirmations, like my basic care needs, writing my post. Here's an example of what I was just like going off memory. Facebook post, IG post, TikTok post, stories, set up a team Zoom, message XYZ. Like I'll put specific names of people that I'm going to message. Okay. And the reason why I do that is because if I do not put specific names of people that I'm going to message, I don't message them. All right. So you might be that person that you have to connect a task with a name. All right. Then I say, make my daughter's list, and incorporated into my work list is my daughters, my family list, get Leah off to school, get ready, get dressed, wash dishes, clean. All right. Like these things have to be included in my list, in my work. Okay. Because if I don't, I have a really bad time balancing life. Okay. I have a really terrible time balancing life if I do not incorporate Amanda, take a shower today. Amanda, did you reach out and make 10 friends today? Amanda, did you brush your teeth? You guys, I would go all day. And I know that sounds absolutely ludicrous to some of you guys, but for me, the way that my brain works is like, I have to write that shit down. Okay. I have to write those things down. Just like, my relationship, spend quality time. You guys, I was, for probably about, and I'm not super proud of this, for about 6 years total, I'd say, in this industry, I put my relationships and every relationship, friendship, my ex-husband, on the back burner when I was hitting the go in my business. And I'm telling you that because if you do not have a balance of some kind, and there's no such thing as like having an exact balance, okay? But if you do not have a balance at some time of some kind of what you're going to do throughout your day, and you don't have a game plan, you are setting yourself up to fail. You ever hear that? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. All right. And the whole reason behind that is that I would, my friend would be talking to me and I wouldn't be answering her because I was listening. I was doing my work, my business. Okay. Or I would be maybe sitting there and I would get lost in hours doing checklist stuff. All right. And I wouldn't have quality time in my relationships, like in my, ex-marriage, which that's another story. But like I made it a point that I said, okay, when somebody's talking to me, I put down my phone. If I'm at a family event, my phone is down. At dinner time, my phone is down. In the evening times, there's a certain period, my phone is down. I'm going to have quality time. Now, when I pick my phone back up, I'm allowed to respond to people. But then guess what? I have to say, by this time, Amanda, your work is off and you're going to bed. Okay. And I promise you, you're going to start noticing. All right, so here's some other things I put on my checklist, okay? And I think these things are important as well. Because you can say, okay, post to Instagram, post to TikTok, post to Facebook, post to stories. I'm specific, post about a product. And this can be in my stories, this can be passively, or this can be directly, right? Post an opportunity of some kind. Now, opportunity for me could be me at the gas station pumping my gas and talking about how grateful I am for what I get to do and that I have the ability to do that. An opportunity for me could be the freedom of taking my daughter to and from school because of what it is that I get to do. All right. Like you can look at an example of, I made a post the other day specifically saying, you know, I'll never apologize for posting about my vitamins. I'll never apologize for posting about my real life. Some people are going to like it, some people aren't, and that's okay. But that is like part of my checklist. Post something positive. That's got to be intentional. Because if I do not post something, if I do not write that down, I'm not going to do it. All right. Every single thing that I'm saying here telling you guys has a meaning, and it is to interact and connect with my audience. Okay. It's being intentional. It's being conscious of what it is that I'm doing. Engage on Facebook. I have to write that down. Okay. Engage in Facebook. And you might have to break that down even more because your engage in Facebook might be like, oh, I'm going to go like 10 people's posts right now. Okay. But if you're finding that you're liking 10 people's posts, but you're continuing to scroll, say, okay, I'm going to go compliment 10 people. I'm going to go and tell 10 people happy birthday. Now, birthdays can be on your list. Birthdays is on my list. But I always do non-thrivers first, especially if you have a lot of friends. Like I have over 5,000, or I have 5,000 friends. And then I have a lot of people that follow me. I have a lot of people that I'm not friends with, that I follow, that I will be intentional about telling them happy birthday, and so forth, right? So I always do non-thrivers first. Engagement specifically on TikTok. What does that look like? Is that me commenting on people's posts? Is that me going and shooting people messages and complimenting them? Whatever that might be for you, whatever it is. Okay. And you can break it down as much as you want, but making a list is going to help you get that done. Add people to Facebook, add people to Instagram, add people to TikTok, reach out in stories on Instagram, reach out on stories on Instagram and on Facebook. All right. Now I told you I have some of my basic stuff. Make dinner. Check into Layla's school, which is my daughter that's in college. Clip my daughter's fingernails. You guys, time with Tim with a heart. Like these are all things that have to happen throughout my day. All right. So guess what I'm setting myself up for? I'm setting myself up for not having regret about taking care of myself, taking care of my family, but also taking care of my business, right? So when I have those feelings, then I don't have to feel guilty about one of those things missing or, you know, taking slack because, oh God, I just looked up and I haven't washed dishes for a month. All right. And you guys, I'm just going to be real with you that if you're running hard for a bonus or your team is in massive momentum, be prepared that, you know, you need to have that conversation with your family and your friends that are closest to you, because you are going to lose a little bit of that balance because you're going to have to push and be more aggressive in your business. All right. Now, with that said, you want to find something that instead of being all the way like this all the time, because you can't remain, you ever been in a 30-day push group or a 14-day push group? Okay. I remember probably about 6 years ago, and I think it might've been Eric Warhe or somebody that I was tuned into one of his seminars. And he said, you know, you cannot sustain at going at that max capacity. And some of you guys have never been at that max capacity. So you don't even know because you're wasting time on Facebook. Like you're doing stuff that's not growing your business. You're not connecting with the people that are, you know, relating to you. Or maybe you are adding people, but then you're not actually putting out the content that is going to interact or relate to those people. Or you're making great content, but you're not doing basic things like connecting, like intentionally being interactive, right? You can have the best post in the world. However, if you lack your interaction, you're lacking that connection with people. All right. So you can make the best post in the world and nobody actually comment or like on it. And then somebody else might go along and be like, man, that was really good. Why are they not getting a lot of interaction? Well, because that person's selfish and they were just worried about looking good. All right. They weren't taking that next, you could take that same post and then right before you post it, you could have interacted with 10 people that are your potentials, 10 people that you would love to work with, 10 people that, you know, you have been going back and forth with, and then you make your post and then you go interact some more. Right. So when you become intentional with those kind of things, you are going to be more successful. You're going to relate, you're going to interact, you're going to have all those things. So when I'm telling you that, you guys got to start, and also like you could quit and not do the basic things of like, if you make a post on Instagram, I'm not going to tell you to run your business how you want to run it. Okay. I don't care. But I'm just going to tell you, if you're not running your business to grow make sure that that post hits everybody that it possibly can, like, I don't know what you're doing. So like, I know that when I make a post on Instagram, if I add hashtags to my very first comment right away, like post hashtags, I make my post and right before I hit the next button to submit it, I go and I pull up my hashtags I'm going to use. And I use an app called Tag-O-Matic. I don't even know if that app's available now, but it's still downloaded on my phone. So I'm able to use it. And I type in all these different things that relate to that post, whatever that post may be. Maybe it's positivity. Maybe it's Tuesday. Maybe it's Wednesday. Maybe it's Thursday, Thankful Thursday, Transformation Tuesday, weight loss journey, divorced mom, mom of girls, mom of 6, engaged. You see where I'm going here? So anything that relates to that post, and I'm really, really sorry that I'm talking fast, but I want to make sure I get this content to you. But whatever relates to that post, I make sure that those are copied. Okay. And there's this little part at the end of Tag-O-Matic that's posted by Tag-O-Matic. I erased that. Anyways, so right before I hit next on my post on Instagram, I make sure, boom, I hit that post. So that post that might have only been hit by your followers or people that may stream by you on your newsfeed, now just got blasted out to anybody that's searching that hashtag and that given moment. Okay. And that means that your post is going to reach more people. Now, again, same thing on Facebook, on Instagram. If you make sure that you're going through and you're intentional with your interactions before your post and after your post, you're going to even reach more, right? So just a couple other things that are on my list that I think are super important. You know, I told you about posting the opportunity, posting positivity, post something relatable, doing your birthdays, doing your follow-ups, having your list together of your follow-ups. Like I said, intentional engagement. And I write those things down, intentional engagement on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Okay, now let's take next step further, intentional interaction in stories on Instagram, on Facebook. Maybe you need to say, I'm going to intentionally interact with 10 in order for you to be successful. So I'm telling you this, so you're going to have a breakdown, because if you are finding yourself like, oh, I don't know, like I really suck at my post, great. You know that every time you see a great post on Facebook from today forward, or on Instagram from today forward, you're going to screenshot that. Then you're going to put that screenshot in an album on your phone, in your notes, or on Facebook, hit the right little 3 dots at the top, hit it and save it to post, or save it. And all you have to do is pull it up, copy it, adjust it to fit you. Do you hear what I said there? Copy it, paste it, adjust it to fit you, not just copy paste it, because then you're talking about Sally's kids that had a nosebleed yesterday and people were like, what the hell? She didn't have a kid named Andy. All right. So don't be fake. Don't be real. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't live a luxurious lifestyle. You're never going to see me posting like, I don't know. You're never going to see me posting like super crazy stuff. Like, yes, I got a Louis Vuitton purse whenever I hit Millionaires Club and I went to Colorado, and Jamie Pecca got me one whenever I was in Las Vegas. I'm sorry, Tim's out there sweeping. Don't I have an amazing man? He's totally out there sweeping. He's got to go to work at 8 o'clock. Anyways, that's another thing too, is that making sure that your partner is on the same page as you. All right. Maybe your husband or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever it is that you might have, or maybe not, be respectful of their time and the things that they also align with you. Right. So anyways, take care of your hygiene. That's important. Make sure you're eating good. Make sure you're taking your vitamins. Make sure you get your post up. You'll see my post here shortly of me running to school. I'm actually saving my Flex Friday post till I get back, because I have some really crazy, important, amazing things happening today, which you guys will find out at a later time. But if you are super intentional and you write this, and my work desk, oh, can I just tell you that too? Please do not wait till you have a fancy office to run your business. All right. I'm telling you this because I have ran the majority of my business over the last 8.5 years. I'm pretty darn sure that anyone on here right now would trade checks with me. Okay. So just please listen to me when I tell you this. I have ran my business from my car, sitting at my daughter's soccer practice, softball practices, my daughter's dance classes that I couldn't go into. Now, don't get me wrong. If my daughter's having a game, my phone is down because I'm watching with intention, because you never want your kid to wake up and see you in your head in your phone instead of watching them at their game. Okay. So if you're that parent, heart check real quick. Pay attention to your kid whenever they're playing, because they're going to remember that. But also making sure that I have ran my business from my car right before I went into work. Whenever I got out of work, to and from school, I will sometimes listen to TikToks and get ideas of which ones I'm going to save. I will listen to team calls to and from driving back and forth when I have a lack of connection, but I have things that I'll save recordings. But be very, very, very intentional. I have ran my business on my lunch breaks, while I was peeing on the potty, during bath time. I ran my business from my bed, from my living room, from my cell phone 99.9% of the time. Okay. So if you're waiting on a computer or a desk, I don't have a fancy office. I used to have a fancy kind of area. Now I have a portable. So anyways, I hope everybody has an amazing day. I have to hop off here, Shannon. So I love you, baby. Bye, Katrina. I'll see you guys later. Everybody have an amazing Friday. Get your Flex Friday up and rock it. Okay. Bye.
Now she always brings the fire. Y'all know that. So I can't wait now to hear from both Katrina and Denise on showing up for their teams. And then we're going to end it with another big stuff. So go ahead.
Hi there. So Denise, if you want to, you can go first, or I can, it doesn't matter. Just let me know.
You're good.
Okay. So this morning I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm watching the time. I'm going to talk a little bit about just like how I run my some of my downline chat, and like, how I'm really big on like positivity and treating others like how you want to be treated. It's just a real big thing for me. I'm also going to talk about vendor events because I love doing them. If you haven't heard from me before, so I used to bartend and waitress for years, literally years. I just kind of took a step back after COVID, and then I like lightly went back, and I really just decided that I wanted to stay home, and my husband is extremely supportive. I'm very blessed with that. And he honestly would rather just have me home because he likes that I enjoy cooking. I enjoy doing all that homey, like, the cooking, the cleaning, the taking care of the baby, all the things. Like, I like doing that. So anyway, in my downline chat, I just wanted to talk about this. I always try to start every day off, a good morning. How are you doing? And then I send some of the IPAs that I'm sure everybody has access to. I know that Brittany Heider made some of them, and I know other leaders have made some as well. And I just save them to my phone. And I have like an album Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every day of the week on my album. So I have specific things for each day in those albums. And then like when I batch work, I'll save my pictures to each day. So then I just have to go in that album and get whatever I wanted for that day. And I'm not like scrolling through all my pictures trying to figure out which ones I want. With that being said, I'm very, I try not to like have a lot of side chat in the group chats. I just, keep it pretty light, pretty simple. And, if somebody has a question and I don't know the answer, I never, ever make something up. I will go and ask in another chat, or I will go to another leader and ask, or obviously I will go and I will look for myself first, like in we have a lot of different resources at our fingertips. So I go and look first, and then I will go and reach out if I need to. But I think that's really it. I don't want to get too caught up in the downline chat stuff, because just be positive, be nice to everybody. Please, thank yous always go a long way, at all those things. But I'm going to move on to the,
Before you move on,
let
everybody know.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, before you move on, let everybody know. How many do you have in your downline? Do you have your own chat to like this huge team, or?
No, I don't. I don't have a huge team. I have a couple adoptees too. Like they're not on my team, they're my sidelines. And I have three promoters that, some work, some don't. And then I have a couple other people that are sidelines that are in my chat. It's just, I always make sure if I run any promos that my sideline people know that, unfortunately, like if it's involving credits and stuff, I can't send them credits. So, but I don't have a huge downline chat. And honestly, like I made my chat super early, and I probably could have waited, but you know what? I made it as I got two promoters, and then I decided, I made my downline chat. And also I have my upline and then my other upline in my downline chat, so that as I grow, there's other people in that chat that if for some reason I'm unavailable or I don't know the answer and they, it pops up on their phone, then they can help me out with the answer. So, but I would say probably maybe like once you got maybe three, it's really whatever you feel, just make sure that you put somebody else in there with you, so that if you're unavailable, they have somebody else to go to. Is there anything else you want me to talk about with that?
No, you're doing great. I just wanted everybody to know that it doesn't matter. You can still show up.
Right. Yep, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to move on to vendor events because I'm really excited about this. I love doing them. Obviously, I waitressed and bartended for years. I like to see people. I like to chat with them. I just like it. I like meeting new people. My husband hates going anywhere with me because I will talk to strangers, random strangers, about anything. So, first things first. So vendor events, like as far as how I find one, I've joined like the Chamber of Commerce Facebook page in my area, like in like the nearby towns. And I pay attention to what time of year it is, and I go on Facebook and I look, are there some events that are already made? If there's something that's already made going on, maybe I would like to, get in on that. Like, I know that there's a person here in our local community that puts together a ton of events, vendor events exclusively. And so I, became, I signed up with whatever, registered as a vendor under her and stuff so that I have access to any events that she puts together. But that's how I find like the vendor events that I participate in. I'm still like, I've done quite a few. I'd say I probably have done anywhere from, I don't know, 10 to probably around 10 this summer. I've been really busy. Like last month, unfortunately, I couldn't do any because our weekends were crazy. But so when I do vendor events, I now have totes. I have totes that I keep everything organized in so that it's ready to go. And in the totes, I have empty boxes of product of like the 3 steps. I have picture frames that have my QR codes. They have my Venmo QR code. They have my Facebook QR code, and they have my Lavelle website QR code. And I make sure that those are always out when I set up, so then people can find me. Like Instagram already has a QR code. You don't even have to make it. You just go to your profile and you can find it. There are some really super apps as far as like, I can't remember. Flowcode, I think, is the one that you can, flowcode.com, and you can go in and make whatever QR codes you want for whatever website you want. So let me see. So I have all of like, all the things I need. And I do a little, like, sometimes I'll do, when I'm I'm sorry, it's just like a lot. I love doing these, and I'm just trying to think. I've got my box right here. So I also have business cards, of course. I have business cards, and like I made this. This is you can find ideas like this on like Pinterest or whatever. And what it is it's an enter to win. Like, so today, if you buy a happy pack, you get however many tickets entered. And, if you follow me on Instagram, you get however many points, and then like I do a drawing for it. Either I do a free 3-day, free 6-day. Of course they have, make a customer account. I don't give anything out without a customer account. I also have little baggies like this. Like I have to finish getting everything packaged up today, but I have little baggies like this, and I put like, it's a sleep pack. I put a rest, a recharge patch, and I'll probably put a chill in there now that we have that. And I make up some of those, and I do like little grab bags for $5, depending on what I put in them. And I also, where is it? But so that's that. And I'm also, since this one is like a fall one, what is it called? It's the annual autumn open air market. I'm going to have like a little selfie area. Like I'm going to bring my little ring light thing and like some cute, like maybe a little fall props or whatever. Not anything crazy, but just so then people are like, oh, because people like love like selfie things or taking pictures and stuff like that. And then they can like put their phone in there and they can just take a picture, and I don't charge anything for it. It just gets people like coming towards me so that I can talk with them. I also always go around, you'll see in my stories, like I always go around to the other vendors. I always go around to the other vendors, and if I don't already know them, I introduce myself. I usually will take like a short little clip and I'll put it in my stories, and I might find them on Instagram or Facebook and tag them in that. A lot of people love that. Also, as far as like keeping track, some of the stuff I display. So let's talk about display. I just use a basic tablecloth that I got from the Family Dollar. I also did have to order one of the Thrive ones because I was going to do this event that required proper signage saying what my table was. And like when I set up, I put my vendor, I put all my Venmo, my little, picture frame things out on each side. And then on one side, I put the 3 steps with like the empty DFT boxes and stuff like that, so that people can see that. I might put like a cafe or an empty sculpt there. And then over to the other side, I do like some of the plus line stuff, like some of the nighttime stuff, an empty box of rest, and maybe like, before I get to like the nighttime stuff, I put like some activates or, some of the energy type stuff so that people can see. I try not to get too crazy with the boxes because when people come up to your stand or your table, you don't want them to be completely overwhelmed with just stuff everywhere. I do also, so my friend Leonella she was also doing these with me, and she suggested that we print off before and afters. So like I have some of these and they're just in like, what is it? The folder coverings or whatever, protective covering. And I only put like 3 of these out. I have more than 3. I have our own too. I usually put whoever I do it with and like 1 or 2 other people's. And then I put that out. I also have made up, these are lists, and I have their name, their phone number, and their email. Because sometimes especially like if it's busy or crazy, you might not have time to like stop talking to somebody to create an account for someone or to help them with it. So what I do is I just ask them to put their name, their phone number, and email. And then like usually later that night or, the next morning, which is Sunday, I will go through and I will create these customer accounts, and then I will get in touch with them. I do try to at least add them on Facebook or Instagram before they leave my table. And then I will just either text them or message them on social media with all of their customer information. I message them their referral link, and then I message them their username and their password. And I tell them that to go in and change their password. But that just helps because when it gets crazy, I'm hoping tomorrow I think is going to be a pretty good event. It's down in Bainbridge, New York. It's at the Canoe Regatta. So it's a big space. And you just have to have a way to like, you don't want to spend a bunch of time chatting with people about, how to make a customer account and all of those things, when you can help them with that. And you can take that time that you would be talking about that and actually like kind of fast forward, build the relationship, find out a little bit about them, what they're looking for, so then you can have that, an idea of like what products what kind of package you would build for them. And it's just nice. People like, you not being like, like Amanda was saying, not being on your phone. They like to talk to a person and have you looking at them and, just smile at people. And I think, that's really all that I don't know. There's a lot of things that I do for the vendor events. So I'm going to like try to take videos of some of the things I do tomorrow, just so that I can share them with anybody that asks or needs help with anything. So if you ever have any questions or want help with ideas, or maybe I want help with ideas, please message me and reach out, because I love to do these events and I'm always up for an idea, constructive criticism, all the things. So I just want you guys all to have a great Friday, a super weekend. And that is, I'm going to end it there for me. I'm going to let Denise take over, but I just really want you guys all to, have a good weekend, do some things for yourself and work your business, do that balance like Amanda was talking about. And, I'll see you guys all soon.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. Denise, do you want to let everybody know what you do to show up and if you have or are going to do any type of vendor events? And then we'll end with day 19 of 100 Days to Peace.
Okay, so I don't have a team just yet. I had a very small team and we had some upline issues, but I didn't allow that to stop me from moving forward. I got frustrated, yes, but that gave me also the time that I needed to develop as a leader because I have a very red personality. And a lot of people don't like that because I'm very direct. Because I come from an education background, I know how to motivate and I know how to encourage people. So one of the things that I've learned, because, and I'm also a nerd, so I read a lot. I do, at any given time, I'm reading 2 books, one of them for self-development, one of them for spiritual development, because I'm also very spiritual and a believer. So my daughter has a team. She has no problem drawing people into her team. So I edify our team as a whole. We start our group chat days with I am affirmations. So that way people start right away affirming what they are. And because I'm come from an education background, I'm very much into motivating other people. I'm always jumping in the chat to motivate and encourage because a lot of people remain quiet. They don't think they have anything to add. But when you start your day, when you start your day with I am affirmations, you're affirming the things that you desire to have in different qualities, even if you don't feel like you possess them yet. You hear it enough, you write it enough, and it begins to take root. So that's how we start our group chat days. Amanda was talking about, the different ways that she shows up for her business. And I wanted to piggyback off of that because if you expect your team to do things that you're not willing to do, your team is going to flatline because they go according to the speed of the leader. So when they see you posting, when they see you going live, when they see you doing TikToks, they may not jump on board right away, but the more they see you do it, the more they see you becoming successful at it and how that's adding to your business and growing your network, they begin to take on those things because they're like, well, you know what, if it's working for her, then maybe it's working for me. We, in our group chats, because my daughter is an extrovert, I'm an introvert. But even though she's an extrovert, she doesn't like going live. She doesn't like doing TikToks. And because, I'm her mom and because I'm doing it as an introvert, she's like, okay, mom, fine, I'll do it. So I'll drop little things in our group chat about, trending themes on TikToks, or I'll send, like my sister just came back to my team. I'll send her TikTok and real ideas because as a leader, you don't just get people on your team and expect them to do, you have to show them. And we give our team content to post in their stories because if we're going to be successful, it's all about helping them become successful and become more comfortable and confident in how they show up. One of my former teammates had an issue because even though, I'd give content, she would say, but I'm not you. Okay, so recreate it. I follow a lot of 200K leaders and I will screenshot, and I'm just being honest because there's no sense reinventing the wheel when you don't have to. I will screenshot their content, go into my favorite apps and recreate it my way and change up the wording so it fits me because like Amanda said, if you post exactly what somebody else posts, your people are going to know that it's not you. And you lose credibility because you're trying to build your know, like, and trust factor. So last night I spent like an hour and recreated my own story based on my Thrive experience. And you can go on my story and see it. So that way you can get ideas. So I follow a lot of 200K leaders, like I said, and I try different things to see what works for me. And some things work, some things don't. But that's the beauty of it. And I'm also a creative person because I'm also a published author. So I like to write and create. That's an outlet for me. So the more I show up in that way, my team is going to show up in that way. And it's going to push my daughter more so out of her comfort zone because she's like, okay, I can do that. I can do that. And then even with TikToks, I do not like doing anything of that nature. However, it pushed me out of my comfort zone. And as the leader, you have to show up every day. One of the things that I wanted to share also, because one of the books that I've read over the spring, the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. And chapter 3, he says, the law of process, leadership develops daily, not in a day. You have to show up every day consistently. I also follow leaders that are not within Lavelle, who are at the top of their game. I don't go live nearly as much as they do because they're live all the time, but they post to Facebook and Instagram at least 6 times a day. I can do that. I find what works with me. My first post of the day is something to make people laugh, because one of my 5 things is I like to laugh and I'm very sarcastic. People sometimes don't know if I'm being serious or if I'm being funny, because my sense of humor a lot of times is inappropriate. I laugh at things sometimes that I shouldn't, but that's me. I find it humorous. So when I post things in the morning, that first post is something to make people laugh because they're going to jobs oftentimes that they don't like. And if that's something that I can keep them coming back to my page for, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll post, like yesterday, my post was about Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, how men are like Bluetooth. You know, they're connected to you while you're right there, but when you leave, you know, they're gone. Whereas women are like Wi-Fi. Once we're connected to you, we're connected. There are men who took it too seriously. Oh, that's an interesting point of view. But the women found it hilarious. So I'll post things like that so people know, I don't know where this woman's going to come from today, but let me go and see. That brings them back. That's also setting an example for my team to follow. So showing up every day. Leaders are learners. I'm always learning things. And as I learn things, I share with my team. They're going to take from it what they want and leave what, you know, they don't want. Leadership has 4 phases. You grow. You don't know what you don't know. I ask questions. So I will reach out to leaders and ask questions, whether they're in our organization or not. And they're like, oh my God, what in the world is this woman doing? Because I'm not afraid. If I'm coming to you, I don't know. And I can't show up as I need to as a leader if I don't know. So I'm always about questioning things. I grow and I know that what it takes to start the show. Lead today, learn tomorrow. Be a man of action or woman, fighting your way up. Just because it doesn't work out one way, you just keep trying to figure out what works for you. Roosevelt started low, no overnight success. So just being consistent in it, showing yourself grace, and not expecting your team to show up the way that you do because they're different than you. And that's what one of my former team members had an issue with. She couldn't separate her from me. Well, I'm not you. I don't want you to be me. Be you. Show up as you. I've never done a vendor event in person, and that's something that Katrina is going to have to help me with, because my daughter and I have all of these boxes and containers saved from products, because we said, oh, we're going to do it. But I know the only way she's going to do a vendor event is if I actually do it. So that would push me further out of my comfort zone. We've tried vendor events online, that kind of flatlined, and I've joined different Facebook groups for that, and it just didn't work out the way that I would have liked it to. But I know that that's something that I have to get in the habit of doing now that, you know, things are open back up, because my daughter can grow her business on social media. She has no problem with it. I, on the other hand, struggle because I'm older, but I vibe with the younger people, and that kind of freaks them out because they're like, what in the world? So I'm still trying to find out what works for me. And that's the beauty of this business. there's no one cut and dry way to do anything. You have to figure out what works, not be afraid to go out of your comfort zone to find out what works, and just be honest. If you need help, you need help. I used to tell my students, there's no dumb question but the one that's not asked. And that gave them a little comfort in knowing, okay, so she's not going to judge me. Don't think that a leader's going to judge you because, you reach out to them. I asked twin questions, and I know at first it probably freaked her out because I'm not in her downline. But she always asks. Courtney Glasser, same deal. Don't be afraid to ask because you don't know what you don't know. And that can be what keeps you stuck or propels you forward. And I think, I forget what else you wanted me to cover, Shannon.
You actually did great. You covered everything. I'm very, very proud of both of you ladies for showing up. Not everybody wants to have a voice or feels that they can't have a voice. And you ladies are proof that it doesn't matter. You can have a voice and your voice is important. Looking at this chat, people are learning things from you. So keep showing up. I'm going to go ahead and end with a 19 of 100 Days of Peace. If you have never won in the Morning Vibe Tribe, I want you to drop me in the comments and we'll pick a winner after the reading. Study God's Word. All scripture is God-breathed and it is useful for teaching, rebuking, correcting, and training in righteousness, so that the servants of God may be thoroughly equipped for every good work. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 16 through 17. The Bible can be a powerful tool for defeating stress that comes with times of trouble. George Mueller observed, the vigor of our spiritual lives will be in exact proportion to the place held by the Bible in our lives and in our thoughts. As Christians, we are called upon to study God's holy word, meditate upon its meaning for our lives, and then apply it to our lives. When we do, we are blessed and we can find peace in turbulent times. When we accept Christ into our hearts, God promises us the opportunity for earthly peace and spiritual abundance. As believers, we must study the Bible, otherwise we deprive ourselves of these priceless gifts from our Creator. A passing acquaintance with the good book is insufficient for Christians who seek to obey God's word and to understand his will and his plan for their lives. After all, God said that his plan for you is to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. Read the Bible and rely on the promises of God found there. Quotes, the strength that we claim from God's word does not depend on circumstances. Circumstances will be difficult, but our strength will be sufficient. Corrie ten Boom. God has given us all sorts of counsel and direction in his written word. Thank God we have written it down in black and white. John Eldridge. And if you want to know whether you're thinking correctly, check it out in the Word, Charles Stanley. For further reflection, Joshua 1:8, Romans 15:4, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 6 through 11, and 2 Peter chapter 1, verses 19 through 21. Today's prayer. Heavenly Father, your word is a light unto the world. I will study it and trust it and share it. In all that I do, help me be a worthy witness for you as I share the good news of your perfect Son and your perfect word. Amen. Now, Katrina, do you want to go ahead and pick one of the me's in the chat? And when she does, just message me in Messenger and we'll get you the things that are available.
Angela West. I can't say her last name. I'm not even gonna try and butcher it. It's like LEWSCKO or something like that.
Loesco, maybe? And
Yeah.
Loesco, do you want to go ahead and message me in Messenger so I can send you the graphic of what's available? Again, ladies, thank you. This. And we'll see y'all on Monday. Happy Friday, happy weekend. Let's go flex it out.